Where's the nearest fire extinguisher?
Under the sink in some kitchens.
Okay, at homes a lot of times it is under the sink. And I've got one young lady that's nailed it already in here. It's behind that fridge over there.
It's hiding.
Okay,
Why?
because it can, I don't know.
Why do you hide it?
So-
Mrs. Miller?
That back group, would you go grab that extinguisher and put it on your table? Let's say that we need another extinguisher though. Where do you think the next closest one would be? Would you go over there and steal their extinguisher, please?
I told them you're going to, she knows.
So if that one doesn't work, we just run over, grab that one.
Well, you could. We'll talk about what to do in some of these situations. And here's what we're going to do. For this next part, we'll take your group, you're gonna be back here with them. You guys will be together. We'll take the two of you up front, the two of you if you would go to the back. We're just gonna use these two extinguishers for this next one. Thank you. That's heavy, isn't it? Okay. So we're gonna look at these extinguishers and we're gonna come up with a few things on them. These have ratings on them, but nobody ever tells you that. So somewhere on here, let's just find out what kind of fire these extinguishers will put out. You can talk all you want in your group. I want you to find as many ways that it identifies what classes of fire that this will put out. Go ahead and talk in your group and then I'll ask somebody to talk. Get up, look, get up close and personal.
That's just the service thing. But it says A, B, and C on the little thing. Trash, wood, paper, liquids, and electrical equipment.
So, what classes of fire will yours put out?
A, B, and C.
And how did you know that this will put out A, B, and C? You can let her see that with the camera. Okay, so you got the pictures. What else?
It says up there.
It says A, B, C. So it really doesn't have the colors, does it?
No.
Does it have the shapes?
No.
It does. Find the shapes.
I know where
It's right there.
it's right.
Oh, the letters.
You got it.
I didn't see that. I thought they'd be like.
The letters has the shapes, and yours actually has words also. It doesn't have the colors.
It also looks like it's expired based on the back.
No, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. It's not. Did you guys find the shapes?
Yeah.
They have the little letters hidden in them, don't they?
Yeah.
So both of these extinguishers will put out Class A fires, Class B fires, and Class C fires. It gets a little confusing. You guys are in a kitchen. You're going, why don't we have a K-class extinguisher? The K-class extinguishers are more for big kitchen setups where they're frying. Okay, it's that oils that we're worried about with that K-class. An ABC extinguisher can still work on it. One of the things those kitchens don't like though is the dry chemical that's in these hits away at their stainless steel if it's used on it. The wet chemical that we have in a K-class won't do that. So I'll show you a K-class extinguisher in just a little bit. On these extinguishers, there's also another thing I need you to find. Somewhere on there, it's gonna have a number in front of the A, and then a number in front of the B, and then there'll be a C to follow it. So it'll be a, we'll just use X, we'll do algebra, XA, Y, B, C, but there'll be a number in there for the X and the Y. So I need you to find that as a group. It's on there, it's in the print somewhere. Okay? Okay, good. Make sure everybody knows where that's at though. And make sure they all know it.
You can show me.
Yeah, right up here.
Perfect. Okay, so both groups have found it. So there are people at different testing laboratories that rate these extinguishers. And it's not important that you understand how they do that. It's just important that you understand what these numbers mean. And we're gonna have to do some math. Every A rating that an extinguisher gets is equal to 1 1/4 gallons of water. So figure out how much water your extinguisher is worth if every A rating is worth 1 1/4 gallons. You can talk amongst yourselves, that's okay. This is group work. This is not trying to stuff
Grab a
anyone.
calculator on your phone if you need to.
Yes. So you've got 6 A's, and each one is worth 1 1/4 gallons of water. You thought you were just gonna have to do math and get recipes and converting and measurements. What'd you guys come up with? Wait a minute, so every A is worth 1 1/4 gallons of water, and you have 6 A's. So you take 6 times 1.25. Yeah, so those extinguishers are like having 7.5 gallons of water. Do you think you could fit 7.5 gallons of water in that extinguisher? No. So the material in there, is it more effective than water or less? Probably more effective than water. I mean, that's worth 7.5 gallons of water right there. Now there's a number in front of the B also. That we don't have to do much math for. The B rating is how many square feet of fire a non-expert can put out. So how many square feet of fire will those extinguishers put out for a non-expert? 120 square feet. So that's like a 12 by 10 area. And these blocks are close to a foot apiece. So if I go from, we'll just set this stool up here. From there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So from that stool to here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So from straight line from here to where that stool would be out and over to the countertop, a non-expert can put an area on fire that big out with that extinguisher. So these extinguishers are pretty nice to have. Now, if it comes down to it, are you gonna try and calculate all this out before you do it? No. If you're in doubt, you're like, should I use it, should I get out? Which choice do you think you should make?
Just
Get out. We can replace a building, we can replace a room, we can't replace a human. The extinguisher in this room is in a really good spot because it's right by a door, right by an exit. If you are going to use an extinguisher in a building, in a room, you want to be near the exit. You always want to be between the fire and the exit. We don't want to pin ourselves in a corner. You'll find out when we go outside, this is going to make a huge cloud. And you can get disoriented very easily. You can get to the point where you can't see, and if you're not by a door, you're going to struggle to get out. And it can get a little scary. Plus, if we don't get the fire out, we don't want to be stuck somewhere where the fire has built up bigger and bigger and we can't move. Go ahead.
My family actually had to deal with that back in 2018 on the Super Bowl. My grandma was stuck in the living room and my uncle wanted to get her out, so he went struck, like pulling the glass just to get her out.
That's good. Smart move on your uncle.
And he'd already jumped out, just so.
Yep. When we use an extinguisher, we use the whole thing. So if we're gonna start putting a fire out, we're gonna make sure we use every little bit in that extinguisher to knock it out. When we're outside today, we're gonna do it a little bit differently because we're gonna try and use our extinguishers as economical as possible. Even the small ones, we're gonna try and get 3 people out of that. So you'll put it out when you're done, we're gonna let off the handle so that we don't waste a bunch of extinguishment material. Because we gotta pay to get it recharged. Okay? So we've got the basic understanding of the classes of fire, how to recognize them, how to recognize what an individual extinguisher will put out and how much fire will put out.